think we got emotionally tired from trying to figure out what the problem was. And we kept trying to pinpoint it at this and pinpoint it at this. And there was some miscommunication, I think, from coaches to players. There was some pointing fingers from player to player. And there was kind of letting, outside voices impact our love for the game and just that.
What happened the last, 6-8 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I feel like as film piles up, and I feel like really after the 49ers game where, it's kind of them dismantling us, I felt like teams kind of piggybacked off that. So I don't know if it was something we were doing with our scheme-wise. Maybe the teams were on to what we were running. But it was a lot more difficult than what it needed to be.
Yeah. Covey was talking. He was talking. You know what I mean? Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. A lot of coaches are out the door. A lot of coaching changes have happened, and players are starting to talk. Players are starting to talk about what they feel the issues were, you know what I mean, down the stretch for the Philadelphia Eagles. It starts with Britton Covey, man. And I'm going to tell you why I respect Britton Covey's opinion. Because Britton Covey is a guy who actually got better at his job. You know what I'm saying? He got better at his job. And, with that being said, he deserves an opinion. He's the best guy we had on special teams, especially in a return game. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the best returners in the league last year. So I'm not going to discount anything that Britton Covey says. I respect it. I definitely respect it, man. Britton Covey was talking, man. He was talking with his chest. He said we let outside things affect us. He said players were pointing fingers at coaches, pointing fingers at players pointing fingers at players. Just the lack of accountability and kind of operating more like a high school locker room than an NFL locker room. You know what I mean? In many ways than one. But I respect that from Britton Covey, man. I respect what he said. And he's definitely keeping it as thorough as possible, man. But when players talk, you got to listen. This is a players' league. It's a players' league, man. Lane Johnson, no different. Lane Johnson spoke, and Lane Johnson said that after the 49ers dismantled them, Lane always keeps it real. After the 49ers dismantled them, he feel like teams watched that. You know what I'm saying? And if teams watched a dismantling of you and used the same blueprint for 7 weeks, then that's a coaching issue, y'all. It's a coaching issue. We can't sugarcoat none of these things, man. We got to keep it 100, man. We got to have accountability of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to have accountability of ourselves. We got to look in the mirror. We got to understand where we went wrong at as a football team, and it's our job to go out there and do that and fix that. So you know what I mean? But, the future of the Philadelphia Eagles is questionable, man. We either going to have a window or we not, and I think a lot of it really revolves around, what Kelce is going to do. You know what I'm saying? They're saying Kelce out there interviewing with people. Listen, man, Kelce been in Vegas for a couple weeks. We ain't playing. He been in Vegas longer than a guy that's just watching the game is going to be. I'm not going to say a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Kelce been out there in Vegas. I know the family out there and stuff like that. I know his brother out there, but he been out there talking. You know what I mean? Kelce is interested in a TV career after sports, apparently, because he had a meeting with Fox, and I believe it was ESPN. You know what I mean? They interviewed Kelce, and they're saying there's possibly more meetings to come. I know Kelce loves the game. We all know. We all do. We all love the game. You know what I'm saying? Especially the players that play the game. There's no amount of understanding how we would know how much they even love the game. But, at the age of 36 and how much these TV guys get paid, you know what I'm saying? And what Kelce had to go through last year with not running the ball and not playing to the strengths, you know what I mean? Kelce's unit this offensive line is the greatest strength of the Philadelphia Eagles team. No matter how you want to count it or not, man, and him dealing with incompetent coaches, man, he know he could go out on top. He going to be a Hall of Famer. He can go get that TV bag. He can go get that podcast bag. You know what I mean? It's so many different things that he could do, man. But, I hope he comes back, because if Kelce comes back, you know what I mean, that keeps the window of opportunity open a little further. But we do know we got Cam Jurgens waiting in the wings to go out there and, be the center of the future for the Philadelphia Eagles. So today is Super Bowl Sunday. I have no idea who I'm rooting for. I can't stand the San Francisco 49ers. I'm starting not to be. I really can't stand the Chiefs either at this point. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. some of the other things that everybody else is talking about. But, you know, I got to keep it 100, man. I'm going for Kansas City simply because Kelce's going for Kansas City. I'm going for Kansas City simply because I don't want any NFC team to hold that trophy if it ain't the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about that. So we're going to see how that pan out, man. I think that, you know, the 49ers were almost outcoached twice. And I think that they will be outcoached in this game against Andy Reid. And I think it's going to be a comfortable win. I think these guys are going to win by 10. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl today by 10. You know, let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. But, you know, the players going to talk, man. Let me know what y'all think.